Hello, everyone. So this stamp lets you put Harriet Tubman on the $20 bill in an act of civil disobedience. Reason for this article is because in 2020 it was proposed that Harriet Tubman, her face was going to be placed on the $20 bill, but that idea has been halted. And so I'm going to go into this in a little more detail. So aside from this article, there are several other articles that are floating around. On the Harriet Tubman $20, Donald Trump puts his racist money where his Harriet Tubman showing up on $20 bills thanks to New York designer. And so there is a lot of controversy behind Harriet Tubman being on the $20 bill and why she is not on the $20 bill. So earlier, there was several articles this week. Trump administration stalled on Tubman's $20 bill inspires DIY solution. Munchin Nunchin is questioned on delay of Harriet $20 bill. Descendant of Harriet Tubman, this smacks this smacks of racism. Okay, so basically, there's been a lot of controversy because it was proposed that she was going to be on the $20 bill. Her face was going to be pictured there, and so this I'm going to go into a couple of articles, as a matter of fact. So this is out of U.S. and politics. Okay, so this is unrelated. Okay, okay. Basically, it's on a commercial, and I guess it will go into a video into detail as to what's going on.
Security feature redesign in 2020. The imagery feature will not be an issue that comes up until most likely 2026.
And I'm just wondering if you could explain that to me, because after an exhaustive community process with people who organized for quite some time, and you said you do share my sentiments and opinion that our currency should be more reflective of the contributions and the diversity of those contributions. And so why the delay?
No, I didn't say that the currency should be.
Well, you said imagery.
I said imagery, not referring to currency.
Okay, so do you believe that? Do you support Harriet Tubman being on the $20 bill?
I've made no decision as it relates to that, and that decision won't be made in as I said.
But there was a community process. There was a community process.
Again, it's a decision of the Secretary of the Treasury. Right now, my decision is focused on security features.
So there you have it with that. So I'm going to try to switch back. Apparently, it won't let me switch back. But I'm going to try. Okay. So it's crazy because there's been a lot of controversy behind this. Okay, great. So what I was looking at, getting to that, let me see. All right, the descendant of Harriet Tubman says this smacks of racism. Okay. Okay. An Ernest Wyatt, a distant niece of Harriet Tubman, says Treasury Secretary Stephen Mnuchin's claim that Tubman's $20 bill will not happen during the Trump administration is a decision that was motivated in part of racial reasons. Okay. All right. Let's see. Hopefully there's no commercial.
I'm saying to myself,
yes, there is a commercial. Hang on.
Rhetorical question.
It doesn't make a difference who wins the war to someone who's dead.
Some catch that catch 22. I think Harriet Tubman is fantastic. I would love to leave Andrew Jackson and see if we can maybe come up with another denomination. Maybe we do the $2 bill or we do another bill. I don't like seeing it. Yes, I think it's pure political correctness.
That was then candidate Donald Trump back in April of 2016 after the Treasury announced abolitionist Harriet Tubman would be the new face of the $20 bill. But this week, we learned the redesigned currency will not debut next year as originally planned. Here is what Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin told Congress.
The primary reason we've looked at redesigning the currency is for counterfeiting issues. Based upon this, the $20 bill will now not come out until 2028.
So do you believe that, do you support Harriet Tubman being on the $20 bill?
I've made no decision as it relates to that, and that decision won't be made in as I said.
But there was a community process. There was a community process.
Again, it's a decision of the Secretary of the Treasury. Right now, my decision is focused on security features.
When the redesign was announced, officials wanted the new bill to come out in 2020. It's the 100th anniversary of the 19th Amendment, which gave women the right to vote. And my next guest has a very personal connection to this story. She is the great, 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 great niece of Harriet Tubman. She is Ernestine Martin Wyatt. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Tina, do you think Secretary Mnuchin's explanation for this delay, waiting till 2028 now, do you think that is legit?
No, I think to me, it smacks of racist rhetoric. That's what it smacks of.
Tell me why.
I think it's just a nice way of trying to say, we don't want this. We're not going to have this under any circumstances will we have this. It's just another delay and a diversion for what's going on, and I mean because he's had time for this to happen. In the very beginning, he said that was not his priority. So now it comes out when all the other things that are happening right now, and I'm wondering, well, why is that happening right now at this time? So I just think it's the diversion, and also again, it smacks of racism.
So there you have it. Okay, so Trump administration stalled on the Tubman $20 bill. Okay, and so you have their reasoning. And so it says this stamp, however, lets you put Harriet Tubman on the $20 bill in an act of civil disobedience. And that is where I was originally. Okay, so this is out of USA Today. The redesigned $20 bill may not be out for years, but people can put Harriet Tubman on their bills right now. Harriet Tubman's stamp aims to allow Americans to put Tubman's face on a $20 bill despite Trump's administration announcement this week that the official bill's redesign will be delayed. Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin said during a congressional hearing Wednesday that a redesign of the $20 bill to feature Harriet Tubman, an abolitionist hero, would not be ready in time for the planned 2020 release. So Mnuchin cited counterfeiting issues as a reason for the delay. He projected to last 8 years. So the news has brought new attention to previously released product, an ink stamp that can replace Andrew Jackson's face on the $20 bill with Tubman's likeness. So the single color stamp is designed to place an outline of Tubman's face over the former president. Okay, so in prompting the stamps on social media, the product's Instagram account referred to using the stamp as an act of civil disobedience. So the product has attracted enough attention that its Etsy listing was sold out as of Friday morning. So for those who live in the New York City areas, the product site says that there are 2 businesses that serve as stamping stations in the city. So the stamp creator, Daniel Wall, 33, has a goal of putting 5,000 stamps into circulation. 5,000 to be exact. Wall told the Washington Post it's been a project in the making since 2017. So the Post reports this. And so it says, my goal is to get 5,000 stamps out there. So Walt told the newspaper if there are 5,000 people consistently stamping currency, they could get a significant percent of circulating $20 bills with Harriet Tubman's face on the stamp stamped on it, at which point it would be impossible to ignore. So her face would be there. You would see it regardless of their decision making. So let me see here. I suppose this is the stamp and it shows you how it works. And so that's pretty much it. So that's pretty clever, but I know it's going to be met with some type of scrutiny. So the Tubman Stamp website includes information for these interested in making their own stamps. It also shows a video of stamp bills being accepted by automated machines as well. So it still gets accepted by automated machines. Is the Harriet Tubman stamp legal? That's the question. So the Tubman Stamp website says that using the stamp is legal, citing that the stampede and effort to the stamp bills with the messages to protest the big money in politics. Solutions, that's a related article, $20 bill redesign with Tubman on hold. In March 2018, rare photo of Harriet Tubman to be displayed at an African History Museum, and that is coming up. And so, as a matter of fact, there have been a mural painting about her as well. So, though anti-counterfeiting laws prohibit the willful destruction of stamping of advertisement upon paper money pursuant, and so there's a rule down here. I guess there's some numbers that follow showing the law of dealing with currency of the U.S., which is a code. Stamp currency is fit for circulation so long as it is denomination remains legible. Okay, so as long as it's legible, the stamp site says. So they have checked on it to make sure that it is legal, that you cannot get in trouble for actually having those currencies. So let me show that once more time. Okay, so you can see that this is how they use the stamp to stamp over the former president on the $20 bill. Clever, isn't it? With that being said, like, comment, subscribe, and thank you for listening.